Let's continue on to preview some instructional strategies. Welcome to the instructional strategies portion. Please take a look at this progression of mathematical ideas and read through how we will build upon previous skills. Please pause and do so. Let's continue on. In grade 3, students were introduced to fractional notation. In grade 4, students will search for numerical patterns. And in grade 5, students will add and subtract fractions with unlike denominators. Please read through each one of these grades in its entirety at this time. Pause if you need to, and let's continue. There's some instructional strategies that we recommend you use. These are the fractions anchor charts. When you click on this, it will open up, ask you to make a copy. Please click Make a Copy. And you'll be able to preview the strategies that we recommend using. These can be shared with your students. They can pick them up and drag them as needed. Or you can simply use this and line it up as such. This example shows students how to compare fractions if the denominators are the same but the numerators are different. This shows students how to compare fractions if the numerators are the same but the denominators are different. When both fractions are 1 unit away from one whole, which one is the largest? How can we compare these fractions? Consider the amount of space left to reach one whole. Since the fraction with the largest denominator has the smallest unit fraction, there is less space to reach one whole. Therefore, it is the greatest fraction. When the numerators and denominators are different, compare the fractions to a benchmark fraction like 1/2 and 1/4 or 1 whole to help you. So for example, we know 2/3 is greater than 1/2 and 4/10 is less than 1/2. Therefore, 2/3 is greater than 4/10. If you'll notice, to the side, there are also our fraction strips. You are welcome to use these as well. How do I compare fractions if the numerators and denominators are different? Well, now you're going to use equivalent fractions to create the same denominator. These anchor charts are available for you within your 4th grade curriculum framework progress guide. As we wrap up completing our unit planner, consider the student's strengths, misconceptions, challenges, models, tools that you will need, and strategies to support your students. And language, speaking, writing, and listening. What language or academic vocabulary do you want students to understand and use? What questions will you ask to encourage discussions? Think about your students who are ELL. Think about your students who may have individualized education plans. How will you differentiate this lesson for your students? These are all things that need to be mapped out prior to beginning your actual lesson. Here's some next steps. Make sure that you have used the Grade 4 Unpacking document. completed the formative checkpoints before beginning each lesson series. We did this together for 4.5, but this is something that should be done prior to you teaching every unit. Make sure that you explore all of the grade 4 core curriculum with the resources for instruction. And summarize student understandings with students at the end of each lesson using the core math to emphasize. Here's a brief thing for you to think about. 3 things you've learned, 2 things you'll implement, and 1 question that you still have. We are your 4th grade coaches, Tiffany Pierce and Abida Muhammad. Please email us once again with any of your concerns. Thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you so much for joining us for this unit.